Hello and welcome to a quick demo of Mozilla Hubs. So this is just me playing around with the system. So as you can see, we've entered this wonderful room that someone else has made, and I'm picking up a model that I've actually imported into the room from Unity. So this is just sort of a proof of concept really. I made a little castle. And obviously that castle, to walk in it would be really cool, so scaling it up would be pretty awesome. I'm clicking and moving it around the world as if I'm a sort of a first-person controller, which is a common video game means of navigating a world. And you can rotate and move these objects in any way you want, really. I've stuck it out there for now because that version of the model, I think it just looks quite nice there actually. But what if I wanted some other models? So I've clicked on the Google Poly Import sort of option, which is a little magic wand at the top of the screen, and I've imported this burger. I hope it's a vegan burger because that's where I prefer to put my diet is in the vegan realm. But regardless, obviously food shortages and all that, let's make it massive. So now we've got a relatively big burger with some physics on it. Oh no! Oh! Okay, alright, pulling it back. One thing with Mozilla Hubs is the navigation and movement of things is a little clunky. It's not as intuitive, I would say, in a browser as it would be in a VR headset. So it will take a little bit of getting used to. As you can see, I'm having to sort of pull the burger back bit by bit. And now it's upside down. So that was quite fun. Here's some emojis that you can use. Emojis are just classic emojis, but they exist physically in the world for a short period of time to express emotion. And you don't really have gestures other than sort of messages that you put in. You know, these messages that I'm writing now go into a chat that everyone can read. You can mute the chat if you don't want it to appear. Burgers here if anyone's hungry. So yeah, this is like kind of really nice because you can bring 3D objects into the world. You can sort of spatially move around them. Here's a tool that BAGEL+BALLOON are thinking of using, which is a pen tool to draw lines. Now what's interesting is in this case we've discovered the line is only one colour, so because of that, unless there's an option we haven't found yet, it might not be suitable for our project, but it's still quite interesting and we might be able to make a version that uses this. But yeah, we needed two colours, so it's pretty cool. It basically draws a line on any model that is in the world. You can't necessarily draw it in 3D space, it just has to be mapped to a model. What else can you do? Well, there's this really awesome camera feature, and you can now see my avatar, which is kind of like this Iron Man style robot. So the camera is a 3D object in the world. You can move it around to get different angles. You can take pictures, which is what I've just done, and it's now processing that picture like a Polaroid. So if you just wait a little bit longer, there you go. You can see the photo has appeared, and that is now a 3D object that you can scale up, rotate, put in the world. You can pin it, which is something that I've done to the castle, I believe, which just makes sure it doesn't move anywhere. You can't click on it unless you enter the special edit menu. So yeah, so you can see there. I've now brought back the camera. I want to get a picture of me in my castle. So I'm going to, let's make a video actually. There we go. It's a 3-minute video with some audio. It's 1, 2, 3. That was me just faking the noise because I've got it on mute, so you won't be able to hear it. But actually, every time you encounter this video and you press play, it will make that sound. So if I went, it would appear when you press the video as well. So I'll do it fake for now. So it's like, really cool. really like interesting use of physicalizing videos in 3D space. Scale it up a bit using the edit menu. You can access that menu just by holding space and putting your marker over anything. Now here you can see you can also put notes in the world. I don't think you can change the color of them immediately. There might be an option, but we'll try and figure that out. But yeah, so that's quite nice. You know, you can do stuff. And that chat box, you can actually do lots of very cool stuff. You can import things from chat rather than going through the menus at the top. Cool. So yeah, so these are the scenes. So we opened up on this really cool hill scene, but I want to use this new scene. So I've gone up to the magic wand at the top, and I've loaded up this sort of 2D object, which is actually a portal to another level. So here's the level. Pretty cool. So you can jump around, go to different worlds. You could build an exploration game based off this. Those scenes you can load up from Google Poly, I believe, or it's either from the actual hubs itself. Like you can publish your scenes and other people can use them, but a bit more investigation to do there. So yeah, so just sort of like having a look at some of the objects here. See, all the things you've made haven't disappeared, they're actually still there. So you can still interact with them through a menu at the top. It says go to, so I guess you can actually go to that object if you really wanted to. And yeah, so let's go over to the avatar. So here's my avatar, Iron Man, very cool. But there's all sorts of avatars, and you can actually upload your own. So you know, that's quite cool. You can build your own avatar. So here's not one that I made, but one that I'm going to select after browsing. Accept that. I'll take a little picture, I think. Let's try do one with the emoji. I don't know if that'll work. Let's move this around. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think I might have got that emoji. Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. So yeah, so 3D things, photos, new worlds, being able to draw in them, being able to import objects wherever you want, move them around. Like I said, it's a little clunky, but I'm pretty impressed for something that can run in a browser this quickly. So now I'm going to share this either using that link or the code underneath. Yeah, this code's pretty useful. You see Red Build has joined the lobby. So that means someone is now waiting to join the game. So I'm just going to go over to my other laptop, which is actually where I'm controlling a second player who's going to try and join. It'll just take a little while. There we go. So now Red Build has entered the room. So obviously chat rooms have a lot of features where you can sort of talk. So the microphone, you'll be able to talk through the microphone. Your other people in the room will be able to do the same things that you can do. If you don't want them to interact in certain ways, then you can kick them or mute them or all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay, Red Build has just given me a heart. Very kind of them. Very lovely. So they've just done the same thing that I was doing, uploading thing, and they're moving it around. Let's see what they do next. Oh, okay, they added gravity. Cool. So I think that the way the worlds work, it does seem like there's some distinction between different players' worlds. For example, that should have gravity on it, but now it doesn't. So when I interact with things, stuff is a bit different. So yeah, here you can see I've used the edit menu on the player, the other player, Red Build. I just hid them now. So they are still in the world, but I've hidden them. So it's quite interesting that actually they're no longer visible in the world, and any changes that they make to the world don't affect my world. So that is very useful if you feel like someone's ruining your experience, or you you want to split off and do your own thing, then you can do that. I don't think you can bring people back yet. Maybe there is a way of doing that, but I haven't figured it out. But very interesting. Okay, so coming to the end of this video, I would say Mozilla Hubs is a really interesting tool. There's someone else who's joined, mainly because I'm making them join. So that kind of is it, really. I guess the one thing I'd like to show you is, collaboratively working together is something that I think will be a really big part of Mozilla Hubs. So if you want to build a world together, that's pretty cool. I know Marina, you talked about. Sorry, Marina, you talked about using Tetris pieces. So actually, this is a Tetris block that I found on Google Poly, which is a library of assets, and it's something that you can just import very quickly. So if you were able to make a model, or someone else make a model of the rest of the Tetris pieces, sadly I could only find one on the Google Poly library, then you'd be able to make a puzzle and give each of these objects a physics sort of behavior, which means they would fall to the ground. When you pick them up, you could rotate them and put them in different ways. It's going to be pretty shonky, which what I mean by that is it's not going to behave like real life, and I think that's part of the fun and part of the experimentation involved. So all in all, some really great opportunities here, and I am going to make something to help people understand how to get objects. Bye.